which means they move on to the conference finals, and they get the Timberwolves.
I said
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves earlier today.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Should be a very fun series. Anthony Edwards versus Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. The series starts Tuesday, which is
Day after tomorrow.
tough because the Eastern Conference Finals starts Wednesday, and flipping them to me would make a lot of sense from a rest standpoint.
Yeah.
Now the Timberwolves have been sitting for a while. I don't think that's something I'm too worried about with this Thunder team in terms of rest. Is like, oh gosh, I'd be a lot more concerned about it, I guess, if like say Denver moved on and then they immediately have to play. They only get 1 day of rest. I'm a lot less worried about that for the Thunder. Should be another very, very fun series. Timberwolves are a team that have been here before, and couldn't get it done. Julius Randle, great playoff run for him so far. So it's kind of Ant and Julius Randle on one side versus Shea, Chet, J-Dub, the squad. I think this is a very fun matchup. I mean, I think the Thunder are going to win it, though.
Yeah.
I'd say probably Thunder in 6. I picked the Celtics to win the whole thing, but that was not without heavy consideration of the Thunder for how good they've been. And I think they got over a big test in the Nuggets. They're ready to roll. And so, yeah, I like Thunder here. JP?
Yeah, a few things. I think the rest thing has really nothing to do with the equation for the Thunder, because they've played such a deep team throughout this entire season and then throughout this playoffs as well. And they get the 2 days off before Game 7, so they were. It's not like they've been playing back-to-back days for 2 weeks straight. They had that 2 days off in between coming home and everything, so they got a little bit of rest there. Another thing, I want to push back on is, okay, let's not, again, use the youth thing to say the Thunder can't win this series, because look at the rest of the damn playoffs right now. Everybody's young. Nobody has been to the finals out of any of these teams. In fact, I'm not even sure if there's a player. Alex Caruso has been to the finals in the bubble with the Thunder. And then outside of that, I can't. Pascal Siakam is an NBA champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and outside of that, there's nobody with any finals experience. And a select few, the Pacers and the Timberwolves specifically with conference finals experience. So don't use experience as a reason that the Thunder can't win this series, because they're just as experienced as any of these other teams. Another thing, Julius Randle he's been so impactful throughout the Lakers series and the Warriors series.
This is a different animal, though.
Yeah, it completely goes against how he has been as a player performer with New York. But look at the matchups that he had to face with the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. Neither team with a true big, a true rim protector. And also both teams were forced to put their best kind of defender on different players, other than, Julius Randle. Like Draymond Green was kind of forced to guard Rudy Gobert a ton throughout this past series. And then if you look in the Lakers series, the guy who's kind of was forced to guard Randle was a 42-year-old or 41-year-old LeBron James. So he hasn't really necessarily faced off against elite defenses that are keen at stopping him. He's faced off against a good defense in the Warriors that are keen at stopping perimeter guys. But he's going to face this Thunder team, which was able to put Jokic, the best player in the world, in kind of a whirl in a couple games throughout this series. And I just don't expect Randle to be as dominant in any way, shape, or form. He's going to be matched up against Hartenstein more than likely when he attacks the rim, or if he gets by Hartenstein. Chet Holmgren is going to be there to meet him at the rim, altering his shot. And I think it's going to play a huge – and then, the guards as well, I would say, are a huge factor as well because of their ability to be able to double down in big post-up situations, and then also be quick enough to steal the outlet pass whenever he tries to pass out of the post. So I think Randle's going to struggle throughout this series. I don't expect him to average more than 15 points. And because of that, and because of the Anthony Edwards that we've seen in a couple of games throughout his postseason career, where he does not score as much as he really is supposed to. I like the Thunder, and I like the Thunder to win this series kind of handily. As long as Shea shows up, which he has throughout this postseason, he's averaging over 30 points this postseason. I expect the Thunder to be the team to take this series. I'm actually going to take them in 5. I think they split the 2 games in OKC, and then I really expect them to kind of take it from there and take control of this series. The extra rest for Minnesota is going to play a good factor for at least the first game and the second game, so I think Minnesota can steal one in OKC. But the Thunder are just a better team. I think they're better defensively. And then for them, they're going to have way more options to go to with the offense that they play, where Shea is able to really get a bucket whenever he wants. And then they have 5 or 6 guys that really play well together offensively. And even in this Denver series, they were shown a zone a few times. And in matchup and man-to-man, they really kind of picked apart the Nuggets without the help of Shea. Cason Wallace was finding Chet Holmgren on lobs all the time. Their pick-and-roll game was really good. Hartenstein was getting to his little push shot, although he shot it at kind of a lot lower percentage than he's used to shooting it at. And so I think OKC is also just a better 3-point shooting team, and I think that plays a factor as well in this series. I like the Thunder. I like them big. I expect them to win it in 6, but I'm going to pick them to win it in 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously I just said the Thunder will win. I do feel like we're not giving the Timberwolves enough credit. Talking about another team that has a lot of options down the line and has some good size, and so they have matchup diversity. You know, Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert, how they want to deploy those pieces. You know, you always have a fear about how Rudy's going to play, but he's been good this postseason so far. Pieces like Jaden McDaniels, Dante DiVincenzo, who's not had the best postseason so far, but is known as a great shooter. They definitely have the pieces that they could make this work. But I definitely trust the Thunder more. I think we've seen them put together the pieces more consistently in these playoffs. And also the defense is just such a huge piece. I mean, their defense is just masterful. Y'all know I'm an Aggie, so of course I'm going to love Alex Caruso. But, man, what he has done this postseason has just been, on the defensive side especially, has been incredible. I really feel like he kind of leads that team in a lot of ways on the defensive side. And whether he's on Randall or Anthony Edwards, he's just going to make him, and I mean, I don't want to, it's not just him, but Cason Wallace, Lou Dort, other guys are just, they make life hell on the offensive side of the ball for the other team. So I definitely like the Thunder to make the finals.
I do want to say for the Timberwolves, I've said this a few times throughout this postseason, we haven't seen them play truly an elite game. And now I'm starting to wonder whether or not we're ever going to see an elite game for them, and if they have that kind of gear. And that's what kind of concerns me about a team, like if they're going to be able to beat OKC, because like I said earlier, to beat them, to beat the Thunder, you're going to have to win the war of attrition. You're going to have to play really well for 48 minutes, or you're going to have to just see kind of a collapse from them offensively, which I just don't expect with the amount of depth that they play. There's going to be 5 guys that are playing well enough offensively on a given night at least. So because of that, like, I just don't see the Timberwolves winning 4 games. I think Ant has the capability to just go demon mode and take a game or 2, but I really just don't see it with the Timberwolves where they can just go out there and win, because Ant's going to need to win 2 games by himself. And then I think for the Timberwolves, they're going to have to win 2 games as a team. They're going to have to play an elite level of basketball for 2 games to go out there and win this series. And we haven't seen that from them. And we've seen that from the Thunder against the Grizzlies in their 2 games in OKC, just absolutely destroying Memphis. But then also in this Nuggets series in Game 2 and in Game 7, they have shown that they can play at that elite level. And they did that throughout the season. So I just that's my pushback on Minnesota. They're a great team, but we haven't seen them play at that elite level here in the postseason. Besides maybe I guess you could say game 3 or game 4 in the Lakers series. Outside of that, they really haven't played a wire-to-wire 48 minutes of just elite level basketball. And we've seen that from the Thunders. That's where my concern lies with Minnesota. As good as they are, they're going to have to win 2 games as a complete team.
For sure. And also, I mean, talking about Ant, you're definitely going to get a couple just pop-off games from him. But it's like, will the Timberwolves even win those games? If he drops high 30s, low 40s, I still don't think that's a guarantee they come away with that game.
I also, we're not guaranteed to get elite Ant. While they haven't played a ton of games this postseason, winning both of their series in 5, Ant was in the Western Conference Finals last year, was exhausted.
Yeah.
And he really was just kind of ineffective against
he's become a better shooter this year, though, and I think that'll help him a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyway, Sanders, who do you have?
I would pick Thunder here.
Cool. All in agreement.
Yeah.
Agreement.
Agreement.
What did we pick? As I was thinking, we had a game where we all 3 picked the same outcome. I think we pick all 3 pick Knicks to beat the Celtics in 5.
I feel like we did. I don't know if we all picked the exact same.
We'll ignore. We're not counting that till football time. But
Yeah.
no technical foul curse as of yet.
Nope.